just getting refamiliarizing myself with the process of the music scenery, um, the a whole different genre. It was a whole different genre from where from what I left. So I connected with some other brothers that was doing the same thing. I'm like, dang, because I didn't know it was that many. You know what I mean? But you know, I got to linking up with some brothers that was on the same mission, and they was like, "Oh man, Ro, what man, you doing it too? Man, you doing that? Oh, bad, let's do it." So just linking up with them doing different shows, man. The shows was gave me that vibe back, gave me that revitalization back. I mean that passion back for it. And so I just continued to be consistent. And so the thing is, I had a project that was done that I was, going and performing. And so I'm thinking, man, okay, let me go ahead and drop another one. You know what I mean? So I give I give another one, and then I'm thinking, okay, how you gonna do this? I mean, how you want this one formed, and how it's going to actually link, you know, and be different from the last project. So, I wanted every project to be progressively better. I want the first one was good, and the first one was man was tight. Y'all like that, man? Boom. But then the next one is going, man, it's going to be definitely, it's going to grab your ears, it's going to grab your attention, it's going to grab your heart. So, with that, you know what I mean. My second one was labor pains, right? Because you know about my father's business, right? That was the first because that my mindset was like, um, my focus is to let people know, man, that this is my mission. And my mission is to be about my father's business. That's what Jesus told him, you know what I mean? When it was like, man, what's going on with you, man? Why are you not around? You know what I mean? Why, And so they his mother was looking for him when he was in the synagogue talking among the lawyers and the scribes, and he was answering their questions and things like that. And then she was like, "Man, where you at? Where you go? Why you just leave us? You too young to be." He was like, "Man, oh, don't worry about me. Wish ye not that I be about my father's business." You see what I'm saying? I'm not put here for your enjoyment or your fulfillment. You know what I mean? I'm put here on assignment. You know what I mean? So when we realize that, that regardless of what's going on, you know what I mean, it's all about the assignment. You know what I mean? Um, I would, that was the main focus of the first album. Now the second album was Labor Pains. So I was letting the world know that I had something birthed in me. You know what I mean? And we all got, something that's birthed inside of us that we're going to produce, that we're going to give birth to, right? That it's going to be new. It's going to be a new reinvention of something greater than what was, right? So that was the labor pains, man, was the next level, man. That was just letting them know, man. Listen, I'm not stopping. I'm here. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm here. I'm going. And so they was like, man, okay, I see you, boy. You keep bringing that heat, man. What are you doing? You okay? You still doing this? And so I did that and continued. You know what I mean? I brought had some new heat. You know what I mean? To perform. And was doing performances here and there, still working, you know what I mean, my little jobs and stuff like that. But I had to walk 10 more years down on probation. And so in the midst of that 10-year span that I walked on probation down, uh, I was able to uh, rebuild my brand. In the midst of that, in the midst of, like I say, between my second and my third album, God gave me that idea of SAG. Well, we actually had it, you know what I mean, back in the day.
Right.
And SAG back in the day with our group, we was SAG. You know what I mean? We was dead straight, but we was SAG. And so SAG back then stood for strongly affiliated gaming gateways. You see what I'm saying? So um, when 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 I was in the county, God gave me. He was like, "Nah, you know what I mean? SAG is strongly applying God's gift. That's what you're doing now. You feel me? You applying His gifts now. You got it. You know what I mean? Ain't no need you setting it down. Ain't no need you burying it. You got to continue to apply it though, and apply it with pressure. So, so I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. That's what we gonna be. You know what I mean? Brand. So I hollered at my dude. I hit him up. I said, man, hey, man, you remember that? You remember the thing we came up with, man, the SAG? And I was like, man, listen, it's gonna be this, man. Woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm feeling that, man. Use that as the entertainment. That, yeah. So I could, from there on, I continued to put that as my label on my projects, although I was independent. And so that became, from the process of labor pains and walk a mile in my shoes. So between labor pains, all my albums, you know what I mean, normally have the same try to keep the same system, you see what I'm saying, format of songs. You know what I mean? You're gonna get storytelling, you're gonna get uplifting, you know what I mean? You're gonna get some up tempo. I'm always gonna give you a song where I'm twisting, you know what I mean? Because I'm from the heart, I'm from the Midwest. We do that, you know what I mean? So that's a part of our, but I'm gonna show you my style in doing it. I'm always gonna give you uh, just whatever, you know what I mean, out of the gumbo, but I'm gonna add to it. I continue to add to it, and then so I gave, and I'm gonna give you an intro in my second one. I gave a midtro, and then I gave an outro that spread it out the project. And then so with the third one about my father's business, I think I gave a midtro too. I think I did. I don't know for sure, but with that one, so the labor pains was, man, it was deep. It was deep. You have to get it, you know what I mean, to get the message out of it. But the transition, because of everything that was going through and everything that I had experienced, you know what I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was my mentality that I had already formed while I was in prison that made it possible for me to not quit and not turn around, not give up. You feel me? So I already knew that there was um, some things that I had to stay committed to keep it consistent. You know what I mean, throughout my life. You know what I mean, and that's one was God. You know what I mean, and my service to Him. You know what I mean, family. You know what I mean, and then my music. So I had to make sure that I add that as a part of my one of my priorities if I'm to continue to move forward with it. You know what I mean, in the future. And so I just continue to just chisel and fine tune it as the transitions continue to be made from one project to the next. So in the middle, I would give probably maybe a year or two break and give it, you know what I mean, the time to sink in and time for me to actually get um, back in there. But labor pains took so long because I actually was like, nah, I'm done, man. Ain't no use for me to do it. You feel me? I would have really just about, just like, nah, I'm gonna be done with that. You know what I mean? That rap thing. So when my guys though hit me, it was like, man, nah, well, you can't quit, boy. You got too much boy in you to give. You still got it, you know what I mean, to keep doing it. And you still relevant, man. You still, man, better than most of these cats, man. You better go on and keep doing that, man. So, you know, just having a long talk with him and back with God, I was like, okay, God, if it's your will, that this be a part of your purpose for my life, you know what I mean? Just make sure that I'm able to do it the right way and that I'm able to, get into it and get more serious about it. So uh, walk a mile in my shoes was more of me learning the business side of it, learning uh, the social media, learning um, how to connect, you know what I mean, with my fans through the process, trying to get them on the same page, you know what I mean? And I'm still learning even now, you know what I mean? That whole transition of that aspect of um, giving the fans more of you, bringing them into you, your life. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, man, when you hit me up, and you was like, man, hey man, I want to do this, man. I want to get more into your life. I was like, oh man, that was perfect timing because I'm finna start posting, probably a minute or so, you know what I mean, little clips just on all my social media just to engage with my fans, keep my fans engaged, just to let them see me more, see my presence, just to let them understand that the brand is here, to stay, and we're gonna continue to, vibe and we're gonna get going. And so this right here, helps to let them know, man, he ain't playing no games. So in the middle, in about my father's business, I started putting money, features, putting money into uh, 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 the shows, more shows. You know what I mean? Went on my tours, man. First tours that I went on. Uh, went interviews, radio interviews, things like that. I started doing that. So I started. God started showing me. He started opening up doors with. I'm talking about industry people that everybody around me, they strive, they fight, they doing all this and that, but they not getting connected like that. You know what I mean? And so I was like, okay, it's not a game for me no more. And if I actually, you know what I mean, want to do it, I got to really apply pressure for real. You know what I mean? I got to really go on because this thing is big. You know what I mean? And the doors and opportunities that he's connected me with, like this is 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. What is it? The magazine, 50 for 50, or for this is 50, 50 Cent magazine that he got, publication. They got the double XL. They got this one is international music that is a brand that publishes interviews, you know what I mean, in the book in the magazines, right? All over the world though. So I'm like, man, these people connected, they contacted me, man. Hey man, I want your story. I want you to, what I mean, give me your bio. I want you to, man, let me interview you. Woo woo. I'm gonna put you out there. Blogs, got a couple blogs. I'm starting to do the blogs. I was like, dang, okay. I was really starting to get, get real. So then,
how did you necessarily just transition into the entrepreneur, the business side of music?
right. That's from that point. I had like linked up with a guy, man, that was um he was like a manager type dude. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Producer manager. And he took me under the wing. He was like, man, listen, what I mean, the first thing of the game, you know what I mean, that you got to really understand is, you wanna make your net worth is your network. So if you don't network, then your net worth ain't gonna be about nothing. You know what I mean? In building your brand, the first model to it should be network. He said, that's in everything you do. He said, when you go out and you do interviews and you go out do a show, when you go out, he said, doing a show should not be your main focus. Should not be to go and perform your music.
Mhm.
Your first key focus is to go out and link with people you didn't know before you got there.
Great.
Once you link with them, You never know who you might link with, because once you link with them, then they may have your link that you need to get you through the next door. He was like, the business, this whole industry thing is about who you know. It ain't about how much money you got. He's like, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't know the right individual, or how to get to the right connection to get your music played, you can be sitting on $500,000. But if you don't know the right individual to get to pay them $100,000 to make, to spin your music, your record on a worldwide, on a weekly basis, consistently, you screwed. You just sitting on a $500,000 and music with nobody knowing you. You see what I'm saying? So he was like, man, that's what you want to make your goals. So I just sat back, man, just started connecting, started linking with people, different brands. And as I did, people, I started seeing how they looking them up, going to their social media. It's like, man, oh, okay, this is his brand, this is his label, oh, okay, these are his artists. Oh man, they doing it like that. Okay. And so I was like, man,
You linked with some names. You definitely linked with some names. How did
yeah,
you
yeah.
how did you actually even get in contact with some people for the audience?
Uh, um, for like my first, um, I think my first connect was, I think it might have been Von Juan. Well, no, yeah, Von Juan, and then T-Rell. Those were like two of my first um features.
What
Uh,
projects was they on? Or they were just singles? Was they on the albums or they were just singles?
yeah, Von Juan, we had a single called "Son of God," and that was actually put on Lucid, the fourth album. And then T-Rell, we got one called God Knows. That was on Lucid as well. So those became part of that next trend, that album, was part of me actually branding, polishing my brand, letting them know, man, this is serious. This ain't no game. Back then, when I first started, you can listen, you can tell to some of the mix-ups, the hiccups, with my recording and all that. But I was just getting everything situated. But now it's um, it's real deal. It's serious. It's big time. So you got to actually put the money behind your sound and really get you to where you need to go. So I wanted some features, and so I sought it out. And when me and Von Juan, I had went to him one day and was like, man, let's do another one.
Okay, I know you guys are enjoying the episode, but I gotta let you know that this part of the video is sponsored by Who Knew. Who Knew is a brand building ecosystem that's literally strategically built for you to be able to create the brand that you can only imagine. You can build your dream website. You can get business credit and unsecured business funding. You can be able to get managed by us. And not only that, we actually have a tool called Mercabus that we created to be able to give you the power to rank on Google, YouTube, or any other platform almost instantly. You can be able to keep up with the episodes. You can be able to get hosting. You can be able to get any plugin and thing that you need to be able to build the type of brand that you can envision. Trust me when I tell you, Who Knew changed my life, and Who Knew have changed so many different people. That's why we have a plethora of entrepreneurs that have already taken their business from $0 to 6 and 7 figures. Literally, it's pointless for me to have this conversation with you to try to convince you of something that you already need. It doesn't matter what part of the journey that you're on, from the beginning to the point of your building and wanting to go farther to take your brand to the next level, or if you just trying to scale and you already at the top and you already reached that plethora. Who Knew have every single thing for you. Now, you're going to get back into the episode.